real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank y'all for joining me wherever you're watching from. I really appreciate it. Today, we're going to talk about getting the most value out of your money over here in the Philippines. This is a very important topic today. I want to kind of help guys. This is where experience is real helpful. But thank all my new viewers and new subscribers that are on here today. Thank you to the NTZ crew. I know you're on here, or you will be here. Jacob Tanjay and Michael Beach of Life. I see Doubtful Genius says, greetings. Hope everybody's enjoying their summer. Yes, summer every day over here. Hey, May Filipino Vlog. Now, why don't you put the link to your vlog up here, May? Because someone said I should help you too, and I will. There's Sperling. What's going on? Yeah, boots on the ground. He said, who's all going to the Philippines? I guess you could put up a 1 in the comment if you're going to the Philippines. You know, the dollar's strong over here right now. It's at 55.82 now, but it had went over 56. It's strong, but are we getting the most value out of our money? Now, I put on here, this isn't a cost of living live stream, or is it a budget debate or discussion? We're talking about getting more for the money that you're spending, because my experience over here is you could actually pay more and receive less. So we're talking about the value. When I went to Thailand, that's one thing that really stuck out for me, was the value that I was getting for my money, the quality of the services, the goods, and the price. It was well worth my money. And I just want to give you kind of some things that I've discovered over here, because it's not always about spending less. You know, here's something that I want to talk about before we get started. It's people always want to compare renting to owning. Now, if you're going to do that, you have to compare apples to apples. And what people do when I tell them about my home, they'll want to compare. They'll say, oh, well, I'd rather rent a $200 or $300 per month apartment versus buying your house. I said, well, that's not apples to apples. You're not going to get the value, the same value for your $200 or $300 over here that I'm getting for my house, the value that I'm getting for my house. Now, if you want to compare my house to renting a house, then you're probably talking $500 per month. And then renting's not such a great idea, because then in 3 years of renting, which is a very short time, it's your tourist visa. Once your tourist visa expires, you're going to already have spent the same amount of money as I've spent purchasing my home. Now, if you're not going to be here for a long period of time, or if you're looking for a way out, you don't want to make a commitment, then okay, renting, but don't compare that. The value you're getting is nowhere near the value that I'm getting. So that's what we're talking about today. Hey, Robert Dame, he says, don't stop. Okay, you can stop now. That's Pumpkin Joe's Philippine Experience. When is your wife due? You know, they're expecting a new baby over here. And I know he's excited about that, and also nervous, because you just want to make sure that the mother and the child is healthy. And that's enough to drive you crazy, I promise you. He said, has the show started yet? Yes, I already started. It just started. We're talking about how to get the most for your money out of here. Now, when Geechee Lion Music, he brings up a good point. He says, yeah, the exchange rate is high, but by the time you exchange your money and get it out of the ATM or send it remitly, the bank gets its piece. So it's not the true exchange rate. But on this blog, on this live stream, we're talking about the money that you have in your hand. Whatever the final verdict is, when you go to the ATM and you get that money out, we're talking about getting the most bang out of your buck for that, okay? Because the way I look at it, when you're overseas, that's the cost of doing business. You're going to have to pay that exchange rate. You're going to have to pay the remitly fees and all of that, okay? So that's not what we're really talking about. Hey, Jacob Chanjay. Now, another thing that people always want to talk about, you know, when they talk about rent versus own, and see, we're talking about getting the most, guys, for your money over here, your hard-earned dollars. Because you can spend more over here and not get a whole lot. Or you can spend less, because we're not talking about being cheap or frugal. We're talking about getting the most. See, some people think that when they spend less money, they're getting a better deal. No, you get what you pay for in the Philippines. If you spend less, you're going to get that. It's not always value in the money that you're spending. There's Jacob Chanjay. What's going on? So let's talk about this Airbnb versus the hotel value for your dollar. Now, this is where you have to do your research. But see, somebody like me who has some boots on the ground experience, I can help you. So let's talk about Heidi's Cabin down in Dumaguete, which is an Airbnb, versus the Tip Top Inn, which is a hotel in Dumaguete. Now, these are my two favorite places. If I don't stay at one, I stay the other. We'll start with the Tip Top Inn. They're both around 1,250 pesos per night. The Tip Top Inn, the location is good. It's right there on National Road, right across the street from Robinson. Hot and cold water, air conditioned, free Wi-Fi, air conditioned, and also a free breakfast. Hey, good morning, Booby. Say hello to everybody. She's been writing on her face. Look. Say hello.
That's an eyebrow.
Ain't no eyebrow.
That is. Look at this.
Now, oh, wow. That's great value for your money, guys, right there. But if you have to make a choice and you have that option, because a lot of times Heidi Cabin might not be available. That's how popular it is. I'm going to have to go with Heidi's Cabin because I'm going to get more for my $1,250. I'm going to get everything that I'm getting at Tip Top, not the free breakfast, though. But I'm going to get more privacy. All right, because I've got my own key to that big security gate when I go in there. Nobody's going to be watching me if I want to bring a woman in there or different women. Nobody's going to know. I've got a backyard that I can chill out with. I've got a microwave, which comes in handy over here in the Philippines. Let me tell you why. There's a lot of leftovers in the Philippines. Again, we're talking value. When you go to a place like Yellow Cab on the boulevard or Lantau on the boulevard, they're going to give you a lot for your money. So what do you do with it when you can't eat it all? You tell them, hey, I want to take it out. But in most cases, you go back to the hotel, or you could go home if you don't have a microwave. The Filipino, they'll eat it. They'll set it on the table and eat it later when they get hungry. I don't work like that. I need my food hot. So when I go back to Heidi's Cabin, I can stick that pizza in the toaster or the microwave. Or I can go right outside. There's a full kitchen. So this is apples to apples, guys. I'm comparing. And this is what I'm talking about, getting more money for getting more value for your money. We're talking about value here. We're not talking about spending less. We're talking about getting more for our hard-earned money. Hey, Gary Walker, he says, May Filipino Vlog channel is CTF, y'all. Please check it out if y'all would like. Newer vlogger, courageous lady. Yeah, see, we can send the people to your channel. That's what I always tell people. It's up to you to keep the people. Okay. Now, of course, you're right about this. He said use swab and fees are refunded if you're able to get that swab. But I was told if you're over here for 6 months out of the country, swab will terminate your account. I'm not sure about that. What's up, Sammy Davis? That's our brother up in Anglease City. He gives us the lowdown from Anglease City. This is Jeffrey Tatter. He's the Thailand guy, the fly guy from Thai. Okay. Miguel says, do you own the house or does your lady own the house? I own the house. See, this is one piece of confusion that's going around. Foreigners can own property here. Owning land is a totally different conversation. It's a totally different matter. A whole lot trickier. There are some ways that you can own land besides signing what one influential Filipino called the sugar contract. I'm going to talk about the sugar contract on one of my later vlogs. But yeah, you can own property over here. Land is a big difference. But we're talking about getting more money. It's the same thing with clothes over here. Let me give you an example. A lot of Filipinos, they'll shop at the Okay place. This is used clothes, used shoes, because it's a better quality. And the prices are a lot lower than if you go into the store and buy, what's off the rack. See, that's what we're talking about, value today. See, they'll go in there, they can find a nice pair of Levi blue jeans for 25, 30, 40 pesos. Where you have to look far and wide to find Levi jeans in the Philippines. You might get FUBU or something like that. But that's a perfect example of getting the value. We're talking about the quality. I even know some foreigners who shop in Okay because you're going to get, those clothes are donated from overseas, different countries. You may have to boil them because that's what you're going to do a lot of times. You have to boil the clothes. True King Gamer said, what's the best place to stay in Cebu? Well, it's a lot. Now, I'll give you, remember, you got to do your due diligence. And there's probably better places than this, but I always stay at Mavisa Gardens. That's an Airbnb. You can usually get an Airbnb anywhere from $18 to $30, depending on how big it is, depending on the amenities. But you're going to get a lot for your money here. You get 2 swimming pools, a clubhouse, weight room, 24-hour security. You got a 7-Eleven in the building. You have a bakery. You have a laundry, a mall right down the street. You're about 5 minutes from the main mall. See, this is what we're talking about, getting more for our money. Okay. Sammy Davis said, I asked if a foreigner can buy land in his girlfriend's name, then lease it from her to build a house. Doesn't anyone have a definite answer? No, I don't. That's a question for a lawyer over here. I'm not going to practice law without a license. Yeah, that's be something for. That's a great question for a lawyer. Hey, the Ghost of Pennsylvania 11 says Jamil Wilkert, 55.95 pesos to $1, but forecast to hit 58 this coming August. Yeah. But if you're not getting the most for your money, then you're just squandering it away. See, it's not about how much money you got, but what you're getting for the money that you have. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about Mickey D's versus buying food at the local wet market. Now I can go right here in San Carlos City and get a Big Mick meal for about 173 pesos. That's the Big Mick with the fries and the Coke. It's 173 pesos. Or of junk, by the way. There's no nutritional value. It's bad for your health. And, depending on what time of the day you buy the food, the quality is going to go way down. Or I can go here to the wet market over here and spend that 173 on fresh fish or fresh fruits and vegetables. That same 173, I can get a whole lot more food. I can get beans, I'm going to get a whole lot more for my 173, and it's going to be value because everybody knows the benefits of eating fresh fruits and vegetables. It's real simple like that, guys. Okay? This is what we're talking about today. Hey, Clint Dow, glad you could join us, brother. Mr. Ken, 1230 said, would you recommend buying or building a house without owning the land as an expert? Okay. Well, if you've got a 50-year lease, 25 years, then renew it in 25 years, you're going to be dead. Then you can just leave that to one of your heirs. I mean, do we ever really own the land since we've got to pay taxes on it? That's Don't Make Me Roll After. It'll be good to see you, brother. Yeah, let's get the lights up, guys. Yeah, here's Rock. Now his house is about finished. I was talking to Rock Engineering 2 days ago, face to face. He said your place is looking good. He says it amazes me how foreigners are enamored about owning a house in the Philippines, but have no problem signing up for that 30-year death sentence in America. Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, value for the dollar. Now, do you get more value because you can say, oh, well, I can own the land over in America? Yeah, but you got 30 years to do that. And the interest, okay, the house I bought in America, the selling price was $114,000. With interest and everything like that, by the time it was over with, I was going to pay $272,000 for that house, plus a lot of headache, a lot of sleepless nights. 30 years, that's a long time. That's a lifetime. So that's what we're saying. Why not spend 20, 30, 40,000, 50,000 and be done with it? Because you got to compare apples to apples if you're going to talk about renting to owning. You can't. Some guy said, oh, I'm single. I don't need to build. I got to come over there and pay $200 to $300 per month. Yeah, that's good for you. But do you think you're going to get the same bang for your buck as I did for the $20,000 I spent building this house? No, you're in dreamland thinking like that. You're going to get $200 to $300 a month for rent. That's what you're going to get over here. You're going to get a good deal. But if you're going to compare apples to apples, it's going to cost you about $500 US every month to get a house and get the value for your money, the same value I'm getting out of this house. And then it doesn't look like a good deal because after 3 years, by the time your tourist visa is up, you spent the same amount of money. You walk away with nothing. I still got a house standing here in my name, paid for free and clear, no mortgage. See, so it just depends on what you want to do. If you don't want a commitment, yeah, that's fine. Then go ahead and rent. But don't try to compare your $200 and $300 per month rent with what I'm living in right now. It doesn't do it. Pumpkin Joe Philippine Express said, my wife told me about an expat. He paid $7 million for his home and lost it years later for not paying taxes. Someone with the inside track paid $165,000 for it. Wow, yeah. See, for some reason, if it's the law in your country, it's probably the law over here. You have to pay taxes. All right. one of my tennis partners, he bought a business like that, Pumpkin Joe. But guess what? What happened was the person came back, paid the taxes, and the court awarded him the business back after my tennis partner spent all that money building up the business. It was a bar. So guess what he did? He was smart. He went in there and took out everything, the toilets, the sinks, everything he did. He basically, it was a shell by the time he was done with it. But if you don't pay your taxes, man. But the taxes over here are so small, you just pay a fraction of what the house is worth. So you never really own the land if you got to pay taxes on it. Because it's like Pumpkin Joe said, if you don't pay the taxes, they take the land. Tiny Tim says, when you move to the Philippines, move around. Travel to the different islands and cities. Determine where you want to live. The lifestyle is different. The lifestyle in different cities and islands can be very different. It actually is. And that's what I did a video called The Sweet Spot. And this is what I'm talking about on that video. You got to find your sweet spot. And if you move around, and only time is going to be, unless you get very fortunate and you hit it right on the nose, which a lot of us don't do, I would say move around too. Let me see this. Okay. Okay, Yusuf Amar Habib says, hey, Calvin, if you go into a lease agreement for the land, what if they sell that land and the new owner doesn't want your house on it? I still can't wrap my head around owning a house but not the land. Well, there's a lease there. Whoever buys that land is still going to be tied to that lease. Now, who doesn't want free money? But remember, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to practice law in the Philippines without a license. That's something you need to talk to a lawyer about over here. Because I don't know the ins and outs about that. That is a good question. Marion Sigler says, my house is now paid for in the United States. I also have a house in the province of Isabela that's paid for. We just paid the taxes. I'm also retired already. And me and my fiance getting married soon. Okay, so how long did it take you to pay off that house in the United States? Congratulations, by the way. But, most of us, it takes 30 years to pay that thing off. He says, how are the international schools in the Philippines? Well, just the ones I have experience with, they're pretty damn good. And the more money you pay, you're probably going to get the better education. And that's how it is in most places. But my son went to a private, well, it wasn't an international, but it was a private school down in Zamboanga. And we paid, I believe we paid something like 15,000 pesos a year, something like that. It was a really, really good school. Curtis Eugene Thomas says, yeah, man, that's what I'm going to do. Build me a house in my girlfriend's province so I won't have to worry about paying rent after I retire. Yeah, see, that's what I don't want the headache. Paying rent is an expense. And if you don't pay rent, they're going to kick you out. If you buy the house, there's no more rent. Yeah, you still have the taxes, you still have the utilities, but you don't have to worry about nobody knocking on your door. Hey, get out. Selling the house up underneath you like 2 houses ago, not the one we lived in prior to this, but the one before that. Yeah, she was in the process of selling the house. And, it's ugly when you're dealing like that. She wouldn't put any money into the house. So that's what, but we were paying $140 per month. You get what you pay for. Now, trying to compare that to what I've got now, you can't compare it. Let's compare apples to apples. Hey, what's up, Quint? Quintessential one. He said, great show as always, Calvin. Thanks, brother. I'm just trying to This is the type of stuff we really need to talk about more to make our trip here more enjoyable over here, more profitable, better for us. Because somebody that gets off the plane is not going to know any better unless we tell him. Okay, he says, I bought this house in the United States in 2000 and 2020. I finally paid it off, so I enjoy the Philippines and the United States. Yeah, that's a great plan, 20 years. Billy, what's up? Will Rose said, what's the nitty gritty? Yeah, we're talking about how to get the most out of your hard-earned money when you come here. Because it doesn't make a difference how strong the dollar is if you're pissing your money away. If you're being cheap or you being over the top with your money, you're not getting any real value for your money. Because a lot of times when you get value, you may have to pay a little bit more. Because over here in the Philippines, you're going to get what you pay for. If you be cheap, then that's what you're going to get. You're going to get inferior products and services. So sometimes there's some things like utilities that inflation, just can't escape. Believe it or not, my electric bill has almost doubled since I came to my house. Now, am I burning more electricity? I don't think so. Just electric has went up. My water bills went up a little bit. Some things you're not going to be able to, you don't have any control over. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about when you have the final say on where that dollar's going. Let's talk about the Joe versus John lifestyle. Some people always want to compare that. And they say, oh, well, in the long run, the Joe's going to pay more. Yeah, but what's the value, though? If you meet a woman and y'all really have a great relationship based on trust, number one, we ain't even talking about love. You getting everything out of it you want. She's getting everything out you want. I say whatever peso you spend is a great value versus you may be spending less in the long run with these bar girls, but you're jumping from one bar girl to the next. You're sharing the honey. I don't want to drink out of the same cup you're drinking out of, or eat out the same plate you're eating off of. So I don't mind paying a little bit more to eat off of my own plate. And that's really, but see, you're missing the point, though. Of course, it's going to be cheap. He says rent can be cheap. I know many expats that pay between $200 and $400 rent for a 2-bedroom. Why own a home and tie yourself down if you can't afford rent? You may not be ready to retire, but we're not talking about that. If that's all you want to do is rent, then go ahead and rent. But we're talking about the value for your money, Tiny Tim, is what we're saying. And since you're going to rent, then you got to compare it to owning. And if you're going to be over here like most of us are, at least 3 years or more, then that rent is adding up. You're not tying yourself down. If nothing else over here, when you buy a house, let me tell you something about real estate in the Philippines. It always goes up. It never goes down. This isn't like the United States. Okay? That's a fact. Okay? So the money that you're renting, if you don't want to be tied down, like you said, you don't want the commitment, then why not rent? But don't compare that with me buying a house. It's not apples to apples because you're not going to get this sort of value renting $200 to $400 every month. You're not going to get it. You're at the beck and call of somebody else. If they want to raise your rent, they can. Most of the time, it's month to month. Most of the time, they're not going to want to, unless you have an excellent landlord, they're not going to want to take care of their investment. Okay. So, yeah, we're talking about value. You can do whatever you want with your money We're just talking about value today. Storm B says, hey, Calvin, I'm coming to Dubai in September. I think there's a friend on here from Texas. There's a travel agent. Yeah, that's Dana, Mr. Dana Middleton. And I'll put his email up here. The one that I know anyway. He's got a couple. Let's see. Well, I'll have to get that. Adam Chenoweth says, why be in a hurry to settle? If your budget is $1,500 per month, then Google all the cities in the world you can live for $1,500 a month and be a nomad for a while. Yeah, and see, that's what Tiny Tim was talking about. Kind of know your options. Research your options. This is where all that comes from. Don't just show up over here like I did and you don't have any idea. You got to, do everything on the fly. It costs me a lot of money. And that's why, it's part of the reason I made my channel. He said, what's the deal with condos over here? They're very expensive. And I don't know why, but they are. And I was talking to my friend. He's over here now. And he's looking into buying a condominium. He says, man, they're 10 million, 5 million. And are you getting the value? You have to understand that. In his case, he's saying he doesn't want to get tied up with a woman and have her, putting the land in her name and all of that. I said, well, talk to a lawyer. But yeah, these condominiums over here, I guess because they're in such demand, but they're very expensive. And I just don't know what the value is there. Pumpkin Joe's Philippine Spirit says it's a seller's market in the West, but trying to sell a house in the Philippines is hell right now. Post-pandemic, folks are scared of large investments. I know agents here are hurting. Yeah, and it just depends on where you're selling, what you're selling. Because they're going to look around. They're looking for their value. If they say, hey, look, I don't want to spend $5 million for this when I can spend $1 million for this. So if your home or your land doesn't have value, then nobody's going to be interested in it. But if it does, they'll buy it up in a minute. Okay? That's a fact. Hey, what's going on? W Secrets to Success vlog. He says, I'm back. Bad Wi-Fi at this new gym location. What did I miss? We're just talking about how to get more for your money when you come to the Philippines. And that may be something you want to think about before you buy a house or build a house. What kind of value does it have? Where I live, my location. Okay, am I in a gated community or am I standalone like me? He says the West housing market is slowing down big time due to raising interest rates. Okay, Travis Cloud says, big hello from Palawan on summer break. Thanks for encouraging an old teacher to love a little. Looking at property options here. Yeah. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. He said, Infinite Loop said condos are cheaper in Thailand. And that's a fact. Yeah. When I was in Pattaya, which is, they said that's how to pronounce it, not Pattaya, like I was saying. The guy showed me a brand new condominium right on the beach, man. It was $150,000. Well, no, it was less than that. It was like it was 1.5 million baht, which would be about 50,000 US dollars. Over here, I don't get it. They're paying a whole lot of money over here. Somebody needs to educate me on the value. Muchi T said, greetings, brother. Why would a Filipina expect a foreign man to spend $1,000 on her and her family a month when they cannot make such demands on local men. Extremely disrespectful. We are not suckers. Well, that's why I made the video yesterday. We have to stand up to that type of stuff. We have to say no money, no honey. What are you giving in exchange for that? They've already set the rules over here. We're trying to change them. See, it's not disrespectful. She knows what she's got. She knows that it's in demand. And if you want it, that's what you're going to have to pay for it. You know, actually, she knows she's in demand, but actually we've set the market price by coming over here spending like crazy like we do. We can't blame it on her. It's not disrespectful. She sees what her neighbor's getting. She's not going to accept less. You know, you got people buying houses, motorcycles, cars, sending money. No, it's not a good point. The lady's not being disrespectful. We set the standard over here. They didn't. If we wasn't spending that kind of money, I mean, just voluntarily, you know, we're taking people, we're going from 0 to 100 in one day, man. Can you imagine how their heads are spinning when we do that? But that's our fault. Yeah. But that's just, you know, I'm not in this game. I'm not going to blame it on the woman, though. But the bottom line is, you know, people, he says he'll laugh in her face. Well, you're going to be by yourself. Are you going to be with the bar girls? Because just living with a woman or having her with you, all right, and then don't say what you're going to do 8,000 miles from home. You can talk all that shit all you want. You get with a woman like Jim and I see Marilyn or somebody like that, and then you're gonna say then say what you won't do. When you know it's easy to be on these live streams talking about, oh, I ain't gonna do this, I ain't gonna do that. Yeah, okay. We'll see. What's up, Luis Martinez? He said, good rebuttal. Yeah, we raised the price over here. Them women didn't raise the price. We came out like suckers. You know, he said, when our suckers, well, we surely acting like it. That's a fact. You know, people sending 3 million pesos over here and all that kind of stuff, man. Come on. Yeah, but you got to understand, but for what you're paying for, Tiny Tim, you got to show me some value. You're talking about a 20 square meter condominium. I don't care where it is. I'm not paying 10 million for it. I'm not paying 5 million for it. I don't see the value in it. Maybe it is, and I need to be educated. You know, but see, like I said, if that's the rules that you set, Clarence, but we're afraid to set the rules. Go back and watch my video, No Honey, No Money. I'm trying to flip the script. I've been trying to flip the script since Sunshine Shoulders started. I'm boots on the ground over here. I say the same thing. Like, why are we doing this? You know, let's be somewhere in the middle. But since it's a game, because it's a game, it's not a relationship in the beginning, guys. It's not love in the beginning. It's a game. So since I've got the money and you don't, it's my way or the highway. I'm sorry. Okay? Because honey's not in demand over here in the Philippines. And I'll argue with anybody about it. We make it in demand. We coming over here thinking it's in demand. I'm living here. It's not in demand. All right? We come over here and make it demand. Listen, we're in the middle of a baby boom over here, the biggest baby boom in the history of the Philippines. So how could honey be in demand? If it was the opposite, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Ron, he says, yeah, you got that right, Cal. He says, when it's right in front of you, you'll be singing a different tune. You ain't gonna have no choice. Are you gonna be by yourself? He said, being a John is not cheap. Thank you, brother. But we're talking about value, but he says this is a great point though. He says, I spend 200 to 400 a day in English City. And that's about right. See, hey, Philippine Annex, thank y'all for that invitation. They invited me in English City for, I believe it was that yesterday? For that swimsuit contest. Yeah. I appreciate that, but it's such a spur of the moment. Hey, what's up, Kaz? Hey, y'all, check out this guy, I'm going to tell you something. These kind of subscribers I've got. And remember, I've got a guy who he actually did my website. Thank you, Michael Beats Your Life. I got a guy who did my theme song. Now, this guy's doing shorts videos. He's taking clips of things I say that he likes, and he's making shorts out of them, setting it into like music. And I mean, he's really good. Check his videos out. I think it's Kaz is the name of your channel. But yeah, that's a great point right here. Being a John is not cheap. I spend 200. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Now he says, I like Moonshine Show's approach. Hey, you get 250 a month, and it is what it is. Yeah, but he's paying more than that because she's living with him. He's buying food. He's doing all of that. And you got to realize something. If the woman's going to, remember, he's got the money, so he's setting the rules. It's his way or the highway. So if she's willing to put up with that, then good. Because you set the rules up front. Here, I'm going to give you $12,000. That's what John was giving her every month. That's a lot of money. That's a very good job over here. And if you get a woman, like, remember, who knows the rules and understands the rules, you're not going to have any problem. But it just all depends. All honey, go to the store, go on the shelf and look. All honey is not the same price. And that's a fact. But whatever you're paying, it's a whole lot cheaper. You're getting a whole lot more value, since that's what we're talking about, for your money than if you're over in the West. $1,000 a month, what that's going to get her? 2 Louis Vuitton purses and a damn perm. Then you're talking about what you're going to do for me next week. W Secrets of Success is Cal. Thanks for the correction on the honey versus money. I missed the core point, but got it now. Yeah, honey's not in demand over here, but money's hard to come by over here. Honey's not. This is overflowing with honey over here. It's a land of milk and honey. Quintessential One says, I saw that same game in Korea while stationed there, Calvin. They agreed on the stock market price for GIs, but you had to leverage the black market items and other niceties. Yeah, 100%. That's right. We set the price over here, so you can't blame the Filipina. She's like, okay, because I don't know what, to charge really. What's a good deal? Because in the men, and I don't want to say I'm shallow, and maybe I am, but I'm saying, guys, this is reality. I didn't make this up. I didn't create the rules. I didn't create the game. In the beginning, it's a game. See? And she's going to get what she can out of you. You got to get what you can out of her. And somewhere you try to meet in the middle. But it's not a relationship. It's not love for a long time. It's a game. Says Ernesto in VA says women want a provider in the store. But if you want filet mignon, you're going to pay for it versus a good hamburger with fries and a drink. Well, see, you hit it right on the nose what we're talking about today. We're talking about value. We're not talking about how much you pay. We're talking about what you're getting for your money. And it's a big difference. I can go to McDonald's right now and get a Big Mac meal for 173 pesos. But I can take that the same 173 pesos, and go to the wet market and buy fresh fish right out of the ocean, fresh vegetables, fruit. I'm going to get a whole lot more for my 173 plus the nutritional value. Now he says, and no, he wants filet for burger prices. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. But don't blame it on the Filipina, Moochie T. This is all I'm saying. That's the only thing that I don't agree with you. Don't blame it on her. We set the prices because we got the money. She don't have no money. We do. But that, it's just the bottom line. You can't blame it on her. That's all I'm saying. Theo Ventura TT says, how about a banking block, Calvin? How to transfer large sums of funds into the PS for home building, purchase, etc. versus financing? Well, there's ways you can finance here, but it's very, very minuscule. What you can do is, once you're here for a certain amount of time, usually after 59 consecutive days, and you've got the HCR card in your hand, there's certain banks that will allow you to open up a savings account over here, whether it's a dollar account or peso account, whether it's a passbook account or ATM. Certain banks will, others won't, because your ACR card is going to have tourists on it. You haven't been here long enough for them to take that out. My next ACR card is not going to have that on it. They've already given me my SSRN number because I'm what's considered a long-term stay visa now. All right. But once you open up that account over here, which I did on my tourist visa, and your bank, and you're sure that your bank in America will make that transfer, it's that simple. John was doing it. He put me up on it. I'm doing it. And that's how I was able to build my house. Now, they're going to scrutinize you. My bank, I have to get a signature anytime I withdraw over 20,000 at one time. But I can draw out 20,000, walk out the door, come back, and get 20,000 at a time. But anything over that. But yeah, it just depends on the bank. But it's fairly simple. I'm with PNB Bank, and they allowed me to open up a bank with my tourist ACR, my driver's license, and my passport. And then you fill out the W-9 form because of the money laundering and all of that. So yeah, they're going to scrutinize it, but it's fairly simple. Financing over here, unless you married to a Filipina and she's paying into the Pag-ibig or the certain, I don't even know if there's certain. Eric Terry said he was reading where there's a bank over here that will finance foreigners. I don't know how that would work. But yeah, having a bank account over here is fairly simple, and transferring money. It's simple. The problem John had was his bank told him, he was with a credit union. His bank told him that, yeah, we transfer overseas, but they didn't. So what he had to do was, and it cost him a little bit more, he had to use Western Union, see, for his transfers. Through his bank, though. Yeah, Booby's in there acting up. He's Mr. Social Distance says, what's up, bro? Since money is the key for good honey, will 1,500 plus be good for middle quality honey? Well, that'll be good for. Remember, you setting the rules. Okay. I don't know why people don't think 1,500 is a lot of money, because it is over here. That's about right now at 55.82. Let me tell you what that is. Now, you're not going to get all of that. That'll go into your account, but let's keep it simple. Let's go 55.82 times 1,500. You're talking about 83,000 pesos every month. Man, that's a lot of money over here. Almost 84,000. It's 83,730. When the average salary here is 12,500 per month. That's a good job. Now you're leveraging the highest of the highest salaries and nothing to come up with that 12,500. And you've got 84,000 basically. Man, that's a lot of money. Don't ever let anybody tell you it's not, because it is. And I don't know of any Filipino that couldn't live a good life over here on that. Because I certainly did it for a long time. And I was taking care of basically 6 people. You know, Booby really wasn't eating nothing then. I was buying Pampers though, and baby soap and baby lotion. That was her part of the budget, but we never missed a meal. We went anywhere we wanted to go. But remember, this is the lockdown, so you couldn't spend a whole lot of money because you were limited on where you could go. But that's a lot of money. Pumpkin Joe's Philippine Experience says, I hear Bank of America would transfer overseas with no issue. I'm with Fifth Third in America. I mean, it's no big deal. I go online, I do online banking. They've got a button, transfer funds. You click on that. You put in the information, the routing number, your accounting number, and you transfer. The first time I did it, I only sent like $50 to make sure it worked. Once it went through, and it goes through quick, maybe the next day, depending on what time it is over here and over there. So, say for instance, if it's 9 a.m. in the morning over there and 9 at night here, and you make that transfer, more than likely, you're going to get it that next business day. But if it's the opposite, if it's 9 a.m. here and it's 9 p.m. over there, it may take you 2 days. He said, don't overpay. Yeah, but that's what we do. And that's why I say you can't blame the Filipino. This is what I was telling Moochie too. We overpay all the time because we start the payment plan long before we ever meet the woman. You know, and you can say whatever you want to say, man. There's no logical reason to do that. Okay, there's just no logical reason to do it, but we do it anyway because we're trying to put the woman in layaway. We're trying to put her on reserve. You can't do it. It's first come, first serve. And if you don't believe me, I can bring Marilyn in here and she'll tell you. She was chatting with 3 guys and they both were sending money. It don't matter. I got here in time. We clicked and that was it. Well, because she expects 1,000 doesn't mean you have to pay 1,000. And I said indirectly paying 1,000. Moochie T. This is what I'm saying. Indirectly, you're going to spend 1,000. I don't care who you are. Because wherever you go, you're taking her with you. Whatever you eat, she's going to eat. If you go to the resort, you got to pay for her to get in too. She needs underwear, bras, shoes. Okay, you're going to spend the money, man. That's not a lot of money, okay? But you're going to spend it indirectly. You can't get something for nothing, and especially over here. I don't know why we try to do that. You cannot get something for nothing, guys, nowhere on this planet. So why would you think that you could come to a place like the Philippines where money's hard to come by, and you're going to try to be stingy with money and thinking you're going to get something? Now, explain that to me. That sounds confusing to me. See? Yeah. See, and this is what we're talking about, Sigma Black. We're talking about getting the most for your money, no matter what it is. We're talking about getting the value. He says you get what you pay for. You can get a woman for a couple of $100 a month, but you risk getting overbid, especially if you're not really her type. And you're not going to know if you're her type. In the beginning, it's a game. So if somebody else is coming along and they're playing the game a lot better than you, she's going to go to them. I've seen it already. I've seen it in the last few months. Especially, like he said, if she's not your type, she don't care how much you got. It's that time. So I said, Calvin, as far as sending money to build a house, remember, you can use the 10 to 20 from your visa to build or buy your home there. Yeah, but here's the problem for that. You have to be approved first. Okay? And then you can get that money back. But see, here's what the people told me. This is what I was told straight from the horse's mouth. I said, hey, can I use my house for my deposit, for my security deposit? The lady said, sure you can, after you approve. So that means I have to put up the $20,000 or $10,000, whatever it is, because I don't have a pension. Now, once it's approved, and then I can say, okay, I want to transfer that to my home, but I don't want to do that. Okay? But I think you're saying the opposite. Yeah, I guess once you approved, I guess you could be able. I don't know, to be honest with you. I was told that I couldn't put my house up. I'd have to be approved first, meaning I'd have to put whatever amount of money up first, $10,000, $20,000. Then once I'm approved, I can get that back and transfer it to my home. He said, I thought hostess couldn't speak. Jay Thompson, girls demanding $1,000 for herself monthly. Are we really dumb and desperate enough to get with a Filipino that's never seen $1,000 in her whole life and then to actually give her that much money? Well, to be honest with you, yeah, we are that dumb. And it happens all the time, guys. We set the standard over here as far as the money's concerned. We give them a whole lot more than that. A whole lot more than that. I've seen it with my own eyes. Okay? For some reason, we get online and we want to be these tough guys. We want to be these money managers all of a sudden when you can't manage your paycheck back home. But all of a sudden, you over here, now you this big money manager. Oh, I know how to manage my money over here with women and everything like that, when you don't. Oh, I'm not going to spend this. Well, you can't spend what you don't have. If you don't have $1,000, you can't spend $1,000 on. But the more money you have, the more money you're going to spend. And depending on how good the woman looks, all bets are off, man. You can say what you want to do over there. You come over here and see some of these women over here. Sorry. No, ain't no exactly. No, it ain't no exactly. She's not demanding. A lot of times, because of the unspoken agreement, guys, y'all got to start thinking outside the box. There's an unspoken agreement, okay, over here. She's never going to ask you for money, but she's never going to demand anything from you because it's already in the agreement. Why are you coming over here? Do you think she just wants you to come all the way over here? She got all these attractive Filipino men over here. What does she need you for? Yeah, there's nice looking men over here, guys, with good jobs and everything. But it's probably a more difficult process for them to get involved in them than to get involved with you. So she says, okay, yeah, come on over here, but it's not for free. Well, you're not going to give it to her directly. See, you guys just want to argue. We're going to go on to something else because you're not listening. Indirectly, You're gonna spend $1,000 if you got a woman, okay, and she's with you every single day. She's your live-in. Then how are you gonna get around that? Not spending $1,000 every month on her. If you're spending it on yourself, how are you gonna get around that? You guys are bringing that Western thinking over here, man. You're going to get yourself in trouble. You're not going to have the woman you want. Once you fall in love and start getting some feelings, she's going to run off because they're not going to accept that, man. They know their market value now because we gave it to them. Okay? She's not going to settle for $500 a month. Journey the World said, you renew. Yeah, well, I'm on a tourist visa. So I get 36 months, provided I pay my immigration fees, I stay out of trouble, and I extend every 1, 2, or 6 months up to 36 months. I left, I came back, now I've got 36 more months. That's why I love the Philippines. No better immigration policy than the Philippines. They want you here. They're rolling out the red carpet. Go to Thailand. You get 30 days, you extend for another 30. After that, you scrambling, trying to come up with some way to stay in that country. Or if you decide to stay, it's going to cost you a whole lot of money. I think Chocolate Man said it cost him $15,000. He's got an elite visa. But here's what I say to that. You know how much it cost me for 5 years in the Philippines? It cost me $28 every month. So just say 30 times 12, that's $360 every year. So times 3 years, that's to say $1,000. And then I buy my round trip ticket. This time it was $272. So let's just say $1,500. Then I come back, I got 3 more years. So I get 6 years for $1,500, whereas he paid $15,000 for 5. Now he doesn't have to leave. And I'm pretty sure he gets a few other benefits in there, but not many more. Trust me. He said women always ask for money here, Captain. No, Marilyn never asked me for money. Because it's already in the agreement, guys. The unspoken agreement. She's going to eat. We got the bills if we living together. Okay. She got to have underwear and gas for the motorcycle and all of that. How do you get around that? I mean, and then here's the thing I want to ask you guys. You come to a place like the Philippines where people are struggling. Why in the hell are you trying to be cheap over here? Y'all need to stay over there with that stuff, man. I'm sorry. Don't bring that over here, man, because that's even worse than overpaying. Is underpaying. Come on, guys. You're crazy. Yeah, that's right. This is what I'm saying. You want to come to a place where people are struggling and you want to be cheap. Or you want to be, I'm not going to do it. Wear them underwear for another 3 months. Oh, go on with that, man. Okay, he said, yeah, Rod's Thai Adventure. Said, yeah, that's why I'm back in St. Louis now. Visa ran out in Thailand, going to Cebu in 2 weeks. Yeah, it's a big difference. And that's why I say, the value for your money, because that's what we're talking about today. We're not talking about spending less. We're talking about getting more for the money that you spend. See, over here, you're not a sucker. That's just over in America with all that, he's a sucker because he's taking care of his woman. Man, y'all back in the damn Neanderthal days, man. I'm going to tell you something. Because you're missing the point. So you're not gonna spend $1,000 on yourself. Where are you gonna live? How you gonna live over here if you're not gonna spend $1,000 on yourself? And she's sitting right next to you. You're gonna spend $1,000 on her. I'm not saying giving her $1,000, but we're gonna go on, guys, because y'all know what you're doing. And I tell you what. Right now, because we've been together for 3 years, the game is over. She's worth every peso. Okay? All right. So Say what you won't do over there. When you get over here and you see this long flowing hair, perfect body, beautiful skin, and then they're gonna do whatever you want to do. Yeah, then you're gonna say, oh well, you're gonna be like, I don't have enough money. I'm just telling you. Well, okay, let's go on. Absolutely, Ike. You got crazy. But yeah, he said I'm using the baby oil for something else. Hey Mo, what's going on, brother? He said we covered the unspoken agreement many times already. Yeah, but these must be new guys. These are the slick guys, the men going on their own way and oh, I'm not gonna do this and do that for a woman. Okay. Sorry. Because they think they're still in the West. Now, since we were on the topic of banks, Geechee Land is on here now, and he made a great point. He said, Calvin, you're not really getting 55, 82 or whatever it is. You're not really getting that because the bank's going to get their part. That's right. But that's the cost of doing business when you live overseas. You're going to have to pay something. Usually the lowest rate is transferring from bank to bank. And it's going to take a couple of, it may take a day or two, but other than that, that's the cheapest. But you're going to have to pay. And the higher the exchange rate, though, the more money you're getting for your dollar, though. Because now, okay, I sent my daughter $20 the other day for gas or whatever what she used it for. Okay. Now, when it was just 52 something a couple of weeks ago, they were giving me 49 something Zoom was for every dollar. Now that it's 55.82, they're giving me 53 something. So I'm still profiting. They're just getting, they're getting their money. That's all. He says, my attitude is I would not be cheap with a woman who is paying me quality attention. I love women. I just regret that I haven't found worthy and willing partners over here in the hell of America. Well, you get what you pay for, brother, and that's what I'm saying. These guys can be cheap if they want to. Well, altogether, and I've answered this question so many times, it's getting tiring, guys. Jose, you've been a part of my. Altogether, I paid 1 million pesos. That was double what I really wanted to pay. I wasn't trying to spend 1 million pesos over here because in my mind, I thought I could do it for less. And I really could do it for less. Okay? He said, remitly. Well, not really. Either way it goes, they're all, because they're competitors, guys. Listen. And they probably got the same actuarials working for them as they do. And, they're going to say, oh, you get more value. My place is accepted more, which I can't say Remitly is accepted in more places than Zoom. I had a damnedest time getting my money over in Thailand when I sent it Zoom. But it's not that much difference, okay? Because they're going to charge you up front, and then they charge you on the back with the exchange rate. So if it's so much difference, they're going to lose a lot of business. Yeah, that's what I would say. That's what I would say. And that's why I say I didn't stay long. I didn't stay single long enough. And neither does anybody over here. Okay. You guys, y'all talk this shit over there. When you get over here and you see these women, man, they damn near perfect. Okay. And then with their character, with their culture, it blows you away. $1,000 is, you're going to be like, that's not enough. I got to spend more. But you're talking about Okay. Ed Roach said, greetings, cousin, and everyone. Foreigners are the ones driving the price up because they never had that much love and relationship in their lives. Guys put the unspoken agreement rules in effect. You absolutely right, but you can't tell these tough guys over there that. You know, it's easy for them guys to say that over there until they get over here. And this 22-year-old shows up with the short shorts on, long flowing hair. Then it's like, well, now you're trying to impress. I don't care where you are. If you're a man, you're going to try to impress the woman anyway. So then it goes on steroids over here. You're going to forget because you're bringing your Western thinking over here. So you're going to go to the Hyatt Regency or you're going to go to the Shangri-La because you're going to say, oh, well, hell, this ain't number $200 a night. Don't tell me what you won't do because I've done it. I've seen it done over and over. They're doing it right now as we speak. So, you know, yeah, he says, I've been around these tough macho types who brag about not letting a woman control them. Then they meet that right woman who checks all their boxes and they melt like an ice cube on the stove. Yeah. Or you meet these tough guys and they're lonely. Okay. Or they have, you know, Big Shirley. All right. They creeping at night. They don't have nothing like what's over here. See? Because if you all of that, then why are you on the live stream? We the guys who America says you rejects. You know, they bought us up and threw us in the trash. The Filipino goes in the trash and says, hey, I can recycle this. It's value in this. It's money in this. See? Because if you all that, you wouldn't be on this live stream. I'm telling you. Okay? Why leave heaven in the first place if you got it so good over there? I'm leaving hell. That's why I'm over here. See? So y'all can forget all that stuff. Yeah, Big Shirley, yeah. She's going to eat more than $1,000 a month after the food stamps is gone. You know, so don't talk that stuff, man. Big Shirley. Yeah, she's going to eat up a lot of shit because the food's more expensive over there, too. Okay, yeah, this is good information right here. Let me see this. He says, he says, I intend to leave hell. Yeah, if you're in heaven, what the hell you want to come over here for? If you got it so good over there, you all of that over there, can somebody explain that to me? Oliver Freeman said, Calvin, I'm with Wells Fargo, but I use transfer rights. And a guy, my buddy Jay's got that too. He was telling me about that. He said, now called Wise, and I get the going rate 55 per US dollar, only at 97 cents per $50. I use the Wise card, which helps to limit fees. Yeah, and whatever we pay, guys, it's just a cost of doing business over here. That's just how it is. That's just the, you know. But yeah, these guys are having so good over here, Pumpkin Joe. They got it so good in America, but they want to come over here. They want to leave their heaven. And hold on, let's leave the pearly gates open. I'm going to go over here to the Philippines for a little while, to this third world country. Right. Yeah, Big Shirley, the 4 kids, 7 baby daddies, and then probably got the grandkids too. Ron Scott said, I know the secret. You can keep all the money to yourself, but you'll be by yourself. Yeah, that's what these guys are. But, you know, but they're going to one-up you. Oh, yeah, I don't have to spend nothing to come over there. Look how good I look. Yeah, that's why nobody in America wants you.
Don't touch, huh? Don't touch anything there.
That's all it is. Yeah, right. Saturday night, we're on here listening to Calvin. Yeah, but they so tough. I'm trying to tell them, come on over here. You can leave all that macho stuff behind and really live the life that you dreaming about. Because I promise you, man, I'm inside of a damn dream over here, and people have to come over here just to prove that I'm not lying. I believe half the people who come over here just come over here to see is this clown lying? Is he really living like that? Yeah, I am. Just a simple life, but it's on a whole other level. He said, Big Shirley not in my equation. Oh, yeah. See, they always do this to me. He said, hide in the showers. What the hell? Look, the channel 358 watching, only 148 thumbs up. Come on, people. Yeah, y'all know it helps me. But, guys, I'm not ashamed to say it, man. America threw us away. But the Filipino, man, she'll recycle your ass over here. She'll shine you up like new money. You go back home, they won't even know you. I got all my friends in my Facebook Messenger now. How can I get over there? How much it cost? When you coming back? Oh, I tell you. He says, come on, fellas. Big Shirley needs loving too. Yeah, they got plenty of guys over there for Big Shirley. And that's a fact. Because I had a Big Shirley at one time. Because your confidence is low, your self-esteem is low, and Big Shirley don't care. She just wants to be seen with somebody. She's proud to have somebody. Yeah, Dan, this is a fact. He said the Philippines is amazing and no one can believe it until they see it for themselves. It's not about the infrastructure. The Philippines is an experience. I've had guys come over, they've been around the world, man. I'm trying to tell you. Around the world. They've been to Thailand. They've been to all these fancy places. They come here and they don't want to leave. So what is it? It's surely not me. Something going on over here. It's going on a major scale. I'm not just talking crazy. The Filipinos, they so close to it that, it's just like us in America. We don't see the value in America anymore. It's like how they are over here. But let a Filipino go to America, oh, his eyes get big. Same thing over here when we come over here. Yeah, Big Shirley. Yeah. Gary Walker. Put her link up here. Yeah. He says, yeah, Calvin, you must mean 1,000 for yourself and the Filipino when you say indirectly. Yeah, indirectly. You're going to spend $1,000 on it later. You're going to spend a whole lot less if you buy yourself. But the minute you put that little beautiful woman next to you, your expenses going to go way up. You're going to start spending money you don't even got. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Hey, J Smooth 99, thanks for that super chat. He said, I'm tired of Precious. I want Beyonce. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm the same way. And see, I didn't even know that Beyonce was available to me over here. Because I didn't come to the Philippines looking for a woman. I was trying to get as far away from as hell as I possibly could. Okay? I come over here and hell. These young women beat my door down. The first time I came here, man, I got tears in my eyes. I'm at the damn airport. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I should be happy I'm going back home. Nope, I ain't the only one, too. Pumpkin Joe Philippines Princess, same here, Calvin. Everybody told me don't go to the Philippines. Now a lot of my family are living overseas, all over the world. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, I was sniffling and everything. Yeah, he says the people are effing awesome here. And it has a lot to do with it. It's an experience. I can't even describe it. But it's something that I've never had before in my life. I've never been as welcome anywhere as I have here. Filipino is a good neighbor. And I guess that has a lot to do with it. And then, let's be honest, guys, the women over here, man, it's something I've never experienced. I'm sorry. I'm not a player like a lot of you guys watching me. Y'all got it good over there. Why not bring, instead of saying, oh, I'm not going to give the woman 1,000, why not bring that 1,000 over here and just live the life, your best life that you've ever lived. Quit trying to be cheap, because you're gonna, at some point, you're gonna want her along with you anyway. It makes the ride better. Sammy Davis says, for the young guy with the 36-year-old that he met in another country, bro, you better come visit here first. You're going to see the 20 to 25-year-old that Calvin's been telling you about in the hundreds. Yeah. Yeah, Maryland's 40, man. I wouldn't change her in for 220s. And I mean it. I don't post half the shit I could post on her, man, because she's just, what I want to say. What's over here was what I'm trying to say. But imagine she's 40. But you guys, man, y'all too tough. Curtis Eugene Thomas said, that's what I'm saying. We have the money. We can get a new one at any time if we don't like her. Asking for too much money? Yeah. But see, we're not even negotiating anything in our own country, but we think we're going to come over here. And now with these big money managers and, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. What are you doing, Boopy? Mm-hmm. What? Golden Gate said, Calvin, the next time you do your walk around town doing your vlog, can you walk by the place Dave practices golf? Okay, you mentioned on your previous vlog. I always do. It's out there. He's usually on one of those big open spaces out there, and he if you look at the end of my video yesterday, that's one of them, but that's like, how many open spaces is it over here like that? Over there by, it's a lot. Maybe 12. But look at the end of my No Honey, No Money video. You see that big stretch of the land like that? He's just over there where it's more shaded. No. Well, no, we're not talking about, he said, regular guy in the Philippines said, many guys don't have the luxury of money, so they need to live cheap. Well, I'm just saying, this might not be the place for you then. If you're trying to be cheap, there's nothing wrong with living cheap, but I mean, you got to pay for something. You can't get something for nothing. Hey, because I don't think any of us really are rich. We don't really have a whole lot of money. I mean, one of the attractions of the Philippines is your living expenses go way down. I'm not going to say the cost of living because I really don't know your lifestyle, but your living expenses certainly go down. Alfred Moffitt, thanks for the super chat. Said, loving the channel. Calvin, see you sometime in October, brother. Come on, man, because Maryland's getting her. As a matter of fact, we're going to Bacolod in a few. That's why I'm going to have to be getting off her as soon as she gets ready to get her passport renewed. She went Friday. Now she's got to go back. I don't know why she's got to go back in the morning. But we're just going to go up there and kick it around. But see, the thing about the Korean and the Japanese is, first of all, the Filipino, she's not shallow, but she knows more about the Western world than she does Korea and Japan. She knows that they've got a different expectation. They're a lot higher than ours. We set low expectations, and she's intelligent enough to know that. She's familiar with the West. She probably has more friends and family who've had experience in the West than the Koreans and Japanese and the Chinese, because they certainly got the money over here. Yeah, see, this is true. Mr. Social Distance said, first thing first. Any man that thinks you can come to the Philippines and not spend any type of money is foolish. So stop the cap, man. Just listen to the man come. Yeah. But, yeah, they just want to be, devil's advocates, man. That's all. I'm used to these guys. And he says his girl's 44. She takes extra care of herself. Been together 4 years now. See, what a lot of us, when we first come over to the Philippines, I didn't know. The first woman I came over to see, she was actually, I had two women. One was 38, one was 41. I was 45 at the time because that's my Western thinking. I'm thinking, well, I better get somebody around my age. I had no idea that I could come over here and date younger women. And so everybody comes over and dating. All the best women are young. And if that's what you like, then that's what you like. But the best women aren't always the young ones. Like I said, Marilyn was 36 when I met her. And she's 40 now. And, man, I tell you what, I wouldn't trade her for 220s. She's got as far as I'm concerned, a perfect body. She's intelligent. She takes good care of herself. She takes good care of her kids, But if you want a young woman, you can come over and get that. But it just all depends on what you want. But they're not always the youngest, the best ones. Yeah, you're right. Jacob. He said they don't fancy them like the guys in the U.S. and the West. Yeah. See, she knows she got to work if she get with a Korean or Japanese. I don't mean work, employment work. I mean work. Alfred said, would you suggest I go to Cebu first, just starting out over there? I would. And because Manila, man, is just such a clusterfuck, man. It's a beehive of activity, man. Taxi drivers, everybody's trying to get what they can out of you. It's just too congested. You're going to get the wrong impression of the Philippines when you fly into Manila. Now, Cebu is different. Yeah, Lapu-Lapu and Mactan, they're congested too, but nothing like Manila. Excuse me. And when you come out of the airport, it's not going to take you forever to get to the main road and get to where you're going. You get caught in that traffic in Manila, man, you probably trying to go home. Hey, Belize and Ever, what's going on? He said, how are you, Calvin? I just turned 59 in May. And I promise you, man, I feel like I'm 39. Marilyn can't handle me. She says, hey, it's 3 times a day. I can't handle it. And I'm like, I don't even know where it came from. But she has a lot to do with that. But yeah, I don't know where that comes from, man. But yeah, I could do it probably 4 or 5 times a day. Hey, Sigma Black, thanks for that super sticker. I really appreciate it. Daryl Fulmore, see, he'll tell you that you get a good woman, man, you're going to take good care of her. You don't have enough money. Is that right, Daryl? He said, what's happening in Sunshine Shows and the Shoulder Game? But he's been on both sides of the fence. He's been played before over here, but now he's got a good woman. Don't say what you won't do over here. Yeah, see, and because you get it, Pumpkin Joe, you're a decent human being. He said, that's right, Daryl, and I wholeheartedly help my wife and my mother-in-law out. I do the same thing, but what man in his right mind wouldn't do that? You over here with the woman. You already met the family. You see how they struggle. And you don't want to help them just because you want to keep your macho image. Oh, I don't help women. Oh, I ain't going to be no sucker. Man, crazy. You guys are nuts, man. Yeah. Haitian garment 3 times a day. Have you seen her? Come over and show them what you got. I'm just joking. Go on Facebook, you'll see. Well, yeah, man. I'm just saying, I don't know where it comes from, but I'm not talking about just, okay, boom, boom, boom. I'm talking about morning, lunch, and then night when you go to bed. Man, listen, guys, that's what I'm saying. Don't say what you won't do over here, because you will. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. And, the Philippines has a lot to do with that. Remember the Fountain of Youth? I found the Fountain of Youth over here. And a lot of men have. 365 days of sunshine, a beautiful young lady. You tweak your diet and you get active, man. And I promise you may not look 20 years younger, but you damn sure going to feel 20 years younger. Brad Hansen says, what city would you suggest someone visit if they want to get a real feel for the Philippines? Well, you got to see the city, and then you work your way out. I say come to Cebu because you're going to be in the city, but then you don't even have to leave Cebu Island. That's going to be everything that represents the Philippines there. The big city, the province, the beaches, the mountains, everything's going to be there. And you don't even have to get on another plane if you don't want to. But more likely, you don't have to. You're going to have to ride either van, car, bus, or ferry. But you can see it all on Cebu and not have to go anywhere. See, now he said, he said, damn, I get it twice a week and she's ugly as hell. Well, quit it, booby. Well, see, when you got a woman that works out all the time, man, and Marilyn has a beautiful shape anyway, before she even started. When I first met Marilyn and we went, our first date was in Siquijor Island because we met in Dumaguete. And she went to the beach, man. I was like, that's a little lady like this have such big legs that she had, right? I'm talking shaking. And I asked her, I said, did you play sports or anything in high school? She said, yeah, I played volleyball, basketball. I knew it. But now it's kind of all coming together. Quit it, booby. You're going to fall off the bed. Watch booby. And she was just so little. And I said, so when she was pregnant with Booby, I said, well, when you just gain that little extra weight, you're going to be almost perfect. And yeah, she's almost perfect now for me. Michael Dawsonville said, what's going on, Brother Cal? You're a beast, my guy, 5 times a day. We did it 5 times one time in Dumaguete. But it depends on the woman, man. She's going to be your Viagra. Big Shirley, when I was married to Big Shirley, I thought my equipment was broke. I couldn't even do nothing. But Big Shirley was a good cook, and she was a great personality and all that. And we were together, man, for 16 years. 18, but 16 we were actually together. Honey, she's going to fall off that bed. Stop it, booby. But yeah. Paul Bunyan said, the Filipino family is your new family, your real family. Help out where you can, brothers. Yeah, they will be the ones celebrating our birthdays and sending you off with dignity. Absolutely. And that's a fact. You think you're going to be sad when you leave, they'll be sadder. I'm going to be honest with you something, man. See, Filipinos, they don't meet strangers. It's like when you meet them, it's like you've been knowing them your whole life. Her daughter, her 8-year-old daughter, calls me dad. She's been calling me that since day one, but she calls me that as if that's my first name. And it's just the cutest thing I've ever heard before. She calls me dad. Morning. What? Morning? Get out of here, booby. You're not getting on here no more. Maddie, J. Anthony Johnson, more like a 35-year one. I got to keep it within 10 years, but hell, they working out is now the big deal over here now. And then I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, from a woman from 18 to say 24, you're not gonna be able to know the difference. Then a woman between 25 and 35, you're not even gonna be able to know the difference. Hey, Skinny Gorilla said, what's up, Cal? I'll be there this week, bro. Hope to run into you. You're going to be out here for 2 months. Yeah. Come on through, man. I got the guest house is ready. All I got to do, I'm getting this week, the plumber's going to come through. We're going to get the water tank. But other than that, all I got to do is get the television over there. And you'll be set. I've already had 2 people stay over there. They said it's nice. Hey, Devon Florence, man, thanks for all your support, brother. I appreciate you. He said, hopefully see you soon, brother. Heading your way in 2 weeks. We'll be in Manila to Gaitai. Wow. Now, that's a nice place. And then St. Carlos. Maddie J. Anthony John said, understand, bro, I like the 20, so no tempo and no menopause and can make lots of kids. Yeah, these women over here, man, when they 20 years old, they like, I tell you what. But I like my man well done. So, you know, keep them in the oven a little bit longer. Just from being over here, man, from 30 to, I'd say 40, it's about as good as it gets as far as I'm concerned. Because them young ones, they look too damn good. And they got all this Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff, man. I ain't trying to be I don't want a perfect woman for real. Yeah, Miss Brewer said, be in your 50s and 60s and try dating a 30-year-old here with less than 1,000. Absolutely. Thank you, brother. I got to applaud that. But they're being devil's advocates, Mitch. They haven't been over here. They don't know what's waiting for them anyway, but then they try to come over here. And, it's just, the woman's not going to have to ask them for nothing. They're going to break down and say, well, hell, this ain't even enough. I need more because you're going to try to impress her. Pumpkin Joe said, yeah, I went 40 years with no kids. I met my wife in her 20s, and now I've got 2 kids. Watch yourself out there. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Be careful what you wish for. You blow on a Filipino, she's going to get pregnant, man. Yeah, you're going to hurt yourself over here. You're going to hurt yourself over here, man. Now she wants to wear some damn yoga pants, showing the 3-wing circus in the front. Yeah, he's right. He's exactly right. The Moochie T them, they done got quiet, see? Because the tough guys over there, they come over here, it's a different story. You get these little young girls, man, with these little booty shorts on, and you ain't seen nothing like that, man. Y'all went crazy on the True Channel. And hell, to be honest, they're middle of the road. They're nice looking, but they're middle of the road over here. Yusuf says, I definitely don't want another kid. I'm too tired to look after another one by myself while the mother's useless. So this is my friend. Yeah, it's tough, man. I love Booby, but Booby's running me crazy, man. I can't handle her. She's too much for me. And it's not Booby's fault. Booby just, 1-year-old. She'll be 2 years next month. But hell. Be careful, guys, over here. There's something in the water over here, man. Hey, Jeff Dingle, what's going on, brother? Yeah. Gurkha names exactly, Calvin. Some commenters on the True Channel have no idea. They don't. You come over here, man, and I tell you, I couldn't believe it. And I don't care where you go. I don't care what city, what province, where you go. You're going to see them, man. You're going to be like, wow. Yeah, hey, thanks, Beach of Life. But, they've got potential, and I saw it. And, when you help other people, you help yourself. Now that they've got the viewers, I just hope they can keep them. I hope they can continue to make content. Because I really want to hear more nitty gritty from the Filipino, but it's not his nature. They're not going to do it. So you got to kind of, when you see the ones who aren't afraid to press the issues or push the buttons, then you kind of encourage them. And they've got great chemistry together. If they can start making videos like they did on that video, on that live stream, man, they wouldn't need my help anymore. Yeah, he said he wants 35 to 50. I don't know about 50. I don't want 50 until I get 80. And then I want a 50. But yeah, because 50 is kind of pushing it over here. W Secrets of Success Vlog says, if you ain't making it minimum $10,000 per month in the U.S., most likely you will need to forget about younger women in the States if you are 50 plus. Yeah, they know that they're, yeah, they do it. I encourage them to do it. When they met me, and I don't take credit for any of this, but when they met me, their channel was dead in the water. They had 11,000 subscribers. They were getting like 100 and something pesos from YouTube every month. I said, look, and to his credit, Roger listened, and he took the advice I gave him and ran with it. I said, you got to change your content. Start talking about things that foreigners want to talk about because YouTube pays you differently. Those gamers, they had a gaming channel, and they started watching my channel. I invited them on my live stream a couple of times. And, you know, people fell in love with Esmeralda, with her innocence, you know, and all of that. And now they took that and they were blown up, and I'm thankful for that. He said, cuz I'm with you and Joe, recycle is so true. The West is a wasteful society. The Peanuts recycle everything the West throw away from A to Z. Yeah, you're right. But hey, guys, I got to get off here. We're getting ready to catch the bus to Bacolod. We're going to spend the day up there. She's got to go and get her passport in the morning. I appreciate all the super chats, super stickers, thumbs up, all the support of Sunshine Shoulders.
Yeah.
And we kind of got off track today about, you know, how to get the most out of your money. But if you go back in the beginning, we got some real good information. I'm working on this next. I'm gonna do a vlog from Bacolod because Bacolod's got some honeys, man. Okay. And that's a fact. But yeah, guys, I gotta get over here. We'll catch that bus. It's only like a 2-hour ride to Bacolod. See, that's a good thing about St. Carlos City. We're 2 hours from Bacolod, 3 hours from Iloilo, 3 hours from Cebu, and 4 hours from Dumaguete, and everything in between. But the big cities are right there. So take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay COVID free. I'll see y'all next time. Let me play I almost forgot. You know I got to play the theme song, man, since I'm back home. But yeah, I want to see Moochie T in action over here. I want to see him in action. Him and a couple more of you guys.
It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Yeah, Moochie T. The key word here is had. You had top-notch women. We all did in our younger days, but now we've gotten older. America done put us on the scrap heap, man. You on there with us. It's okay because the Filipino will recycle you.